Absolutely. And I want to talk about your emotions because you said that the song is about relationships and all of that. So now it's time for me to get up all in your business. So who's moving you?
Oh, we going right in.
On the one.
Oh, I'm hot. I'm just gonna say I'm happy right now. You know what I'm saying? I've sometimes we go through some things, and I'm grateful that I kept in mind what it could be like, you know what I'm saying, after going through some rough patches, and right now I'm happy, so I'm gonna go with that right now. So
does that mean somebody moving you or
somebody,
not?
You know what,
you can be happy all
my friends
yourself.
Don't even know my business, but now I'm about to tell the world. Good Lord, I had some secrets, but you know what, why not? Yeah, somebody is actually moving me right now. Yeah, okay. I am, yeah, let's clap that up, right? Keep up alive, hallelujah. So yeah, I'm actually very, very excited and very grateful about what's happening in my life right now. Because you were sounding
unsure.
No, I'm quite sure, but I just, I know I'm gonna get some text messages because there's quite a few people who I haven't told yet.
No, it's quite a few people who want to move you, right? Ooh. Is that what it is?
Well, people start wanting to move you typically once they see somebody else is moving you. You know how that goes.
I do know how that goes.
It's like a kid, they're not thinking about this toy right here. But let another kid come and pick up that toy.
Ooh, you got that right.
Right?
So I'm on your Instagram, I'm stalking you, right? Trying to see if you can move me.
Ooh.
And I run across this Instagram post, and it got me very curious. So I want to know, and this is what it says. Something happened last year. I can say that I found myself because, well, I can't say that I found myself because, well, I was never lost.
Right.
But I finally managed to reach the part of me that had been pretending to be. I am so very grateful.
Yep.
So in your song, I was listening, and you were talking about how you don't pretend. But then this post contradicted that by saying you were pretending. So what were you pretending?
So sometimes, well, I won't even say we, I can speak about me specifically. I was shrinking to fit into spaces that I didn't belong in. So I'll be specific, just being in circles or being around people who did not bring out the best in me. And knowing that I didn't need to be in that space and knowing that I needed to get out of that space.
What's one thing that the space held that was not for you?
A lack of care, a lack of love, a lack of safety. And I knew that it wasn't right. It was a lot of turmoil and a lot of chaos. And I saw myself on the other side, but I would say, that's okay, maybe it's not that bad, until finally I woke up.
But what were you pretending?
I was pretending that space was okay for me to be in. I was pretending that it was enough. I was pretending that I know that I'm worthy and valuable and that I shouldn't be here. But the very fact that I'm
we're
staying...
not talking about an intimate relationship, or are we talking about a set of friends? Are we talking about family, or are we talking about an intimate relationship?
I'm actually talking about a relationship, but the relationship is just representative of playing small in general. So when you find yourself in a situation that you know that it just doesn't fit you, and you know who you are outside of that space, like I know that I can show up and perform, and even outside of performing, I'm a great friend, a great relative, a great woman, I hold my own, I'm independent, all of these things.
All of that.
So to stay in a space that doesn't water me, it's pretending. It's lying to myself.
So how does a person know when they're not being watered?
Well, you can tell by the way you feel. Do you feel nourished at the end of the day? Do you feel fruitful? Are you being productive? What's blooming? What's coming out of you? Is it ugliness? Are you finding yourself in situations and then the next day being like, ooh, how'd I get there?
Right.
I said that? Because I said some things. And the next day I was like, ooh, that was kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you find yourself doing things that just don't feel right with your spirit, saying things that don't feel right with your spirit.
What's something that you did, you personally, individually, that you did that was outside of yourself?
Allowing someone to talk to me any kind of way. That's outside of myself, because I'm born and raised Queens, New York. Like, even still, I'm like, I'm still like, was that a movie? You know what I'm saying? It was such an outer body experience. You can't walk up to me and talk to me any kind of way.
Right.
But I found myself in a situation where somebody was kind of talking to me any kind of way, you know.
Okay.
But, you know, when I say, like, what changed, it was just, like, getting to the root of that, though. How does that happen? You know, you have to do some work and, like,
how did it
unpack
happen?
So those were my issues. So when we allow people to treat us a certain way, oftentimes it doesn't have anything to do with the other person. It's how you feel, how you're feeling.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So I moved to LA just a little more than a year ago. And this particular situation picked up right after I got here. So I'm in kind of a vulnerable space.
Oh yeah, that's a hard.
New city,
oh gosh, this
no
city
family,
is tough. Yeah.
You know, I only kind of knew a couple of people. You know, that support system, you know, wasn't there. And then the holidays came, and then it was colder than I thought it was going to be in LA.
We've been experiencing global warming out here and across the world. Is from what I understand.
Yeah.
But some people don't believe in climate change.
Well, I believed it when I got here because I was like, I definitely remember growing up watching TV and seeing Cali from New York, and I packed shorts and tank tops, but I got to go buy a coat.
So what brings you from New York to LA?
So actually I went New York to Tampa, Florida. Tampa, Florida is my second home. After college, I went to Tampa, and then I came here from Tampa. And basically I came here to just keep growing. A lot of amazing things happened for me in my career in Tampa, Florida.
Like what?
Touring. I started touring internationally from Tampa.
Right.
But I had to leave a city that was so saturated with everyone to go somewhere and stand out. And
you come to Los Angeles to do that?
I did that in Tampa.
Oh, okay. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So I left New York. I went to Tampa. I was able to stand out in that city. When I tell you, they got behind me and put me on their shoulders and said, "Go get it."
Okay.
So I worked with DJ Premier from Tampa.
Right.
Met him in Tampa. We have 2 songs together now, 2 videos together. Talib Kweli, met him in Tampa. Started touring internationally in 2013 in Tampa. First radio play, major radio in Tampa. All of these things happened where they watered me and I was able to grow. Then it got to a point where it was like, if I'm going to keep growing, it's either go back to New York, Atlanta,
or LA.
And
so why did you pick LA?
I just fell in love with, thank you. I just fell in love with it. I actually wasn't considering LA, to be honest. I was like, it's far, it's expensive. And my friend Lyric Jones said, Di, if you go to Atlanta, you're going to peak in about 6 months. You'll know everybody, you'll hit all the venues. If you really want to grow and you're acting as well, you need to be here.
So you've been here a year.
A little more than a year. Yeah.
Was Lyric right?
She was right.
Because you've been on Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady. Did you win money?
I did. I won $1,000 in LA. That's like $5, but you know, it helped. I won $1,000, but I went there with very specific intentions. I knew what I wanted to do.
What did you want to do at the game show
rhyme,
besides win money? Because I'm a game show guru. Like, okay. I love game shows.
Yeah.
And I've been on game shows before, and I'd be winning that money, girl. I'd be wanting to go to get that money. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I said, you know what? I want to play for a car. That'd just be fun to play for a car. But I had also just got a car, but I was like, you know, if I get it, I could sell it. You know what I'm saying? Flip it. New York hustler, right? Flip it, you know? So I said, I want to play for a car. And I said, I'm going to keep playing and rolling, whatever. But if it gets to a G, I'm going to stop and take the G. But my main thing is I want to rhyme on TV. That's what I want to do. Okay. That's my mama's show. She's going to be so happy. I want to rap on TV.
That's the first thing he asked you to do.
Intentions. Put it out there. You see? Yeah. And, you know, I said, before being a full-time artist, my corporate background was HR. So I don't do that anymore. But, you know, on the show, it's like, oh, yeah, you know what, you have to have a day gig. So I was like, oh, I'm a corporate HR. But
yeah, I thought that was a good answer. I thought that was a good answer when he asked what you did. And you was like, I'm in HR. And I'm like, she lying?
I was.
She a musician. And then he was like, but I spit bars at night. I was like, uh-oh, she about to kill him with the bars now.
I was like, please ask me, please ask me.
Dynasty about to kill him with the bars.
And it worked.
And it did work.
Yeah,
it did work.
It worked.
So did you hook up with Wayne Brady after that?
Funny story, actually, we have a very close mutual friend, so he doesn't know me. But my mutual friend took me to a party at his house to shoot a video. But of course, I looked totally different. I didn't have a wig on. I had a wig on Let's Make a Deal. It was like a 80s, 90s costume. So I'm in this man's house, but of course, I wasn't like, hey, no, that was me spitting the bars. Right. Remember? That was shot back in September. So I was just in there being low-key. But afterwards, now he's like, oh, any friend of my friend Chess is a friend of mine, you know, that kind of thing. But
you didn't spit no different bars for him? You know, you got him in his house now. You got him held hostage.
He was shooting a music video for his new song.
Were you in the video?
Yeah, for like 3 seconds. Look real close.
That's all right.
I was like,
3
and then I
seconds
was
is a
gone.
long time.
I was there.
3 seconds is a long
I used to have really long hair.
Somebody finally admitting they fake and tired of it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
What's all this fake it till you make it mentality? What
Yeah.
is that about?
I don't know. I think we live in a society where it's a now thing, it's a social media thing. Everything is a front. And I think the record was inspired by that. It's like we live in a generation where social media is at its highest, but people just try to put on this facade. And yeah, man, and they'll do anything to get to it. So those stories were about that.
Wow. Your energy, first of all, gives me like Anderson .Paak vibes
Okay,
all
yeah,
day.
I appreciate
You understand
it, yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you're amazing on stage. You're captivating. You can't help but to
appreciate
watch
it.
you,
Thank
my brother.
Thank you.
But I do agree with the whole fake thing. You know, it's almost like you don't know who you are today. You don't know what you feel today. And the exasperation that came with the song, like, I'm so tired of being fake. Like, do you think it will ever end? Do you think that it will ever be a time where, because this is what I look, Hop, you can help me with this.
Okay.
I look at the ladies, right?
Okay.
That have all this makeup on, like a lot. It's so much makeup that they look like a different person. Yeah. Because they you know what contouring is? You know, they do contouring and they make their nose slimmer and they literally look like another person. Yeah. And I wonder, do men really like that?
Yeah.
You do?
No, well, look, let me backtrack. Okay. I think, sorry, before I get myself in trouble, wait a minute, do I like that? I think again, it's all going back to the pretense of like, the social media aspect, right? And with the women putting on that stuff. Like, granted, I think a man loves something to look at, but I think for me, I'm a little bit older, so for me, it's about the heart first. Like, can we connect on a level in our heart first? Like, you know, those conversations, because at the end of the day, like when you're married, it's not about just the physical aspect of it. There's so much more behind it. So can we connect in the heart and the mind first? Because after that, like, because if, God forbid, your ear get chopped off or you lose a leg, I have to choose to still love you regardless, in spite of that. But I think with the social media and the extra and everybody just kind of be fake, I think everybody, especially this generation, and I'll even speak to just the music industry. Okay. I think that coming up old school days, there was artist development. We don't have that anymore.
A lot of people talk about artist development, but does it matter?
It does, because artist development builds character. A lot of artists, young artists, they'll put a record out, it'll pop in 5 minutes, because anybody can put a record out right now. You can put a record out, Tammi.
Okay, I'm gonna work with you on that, Hop.
You can literally.
I don't mind being a one-hit wonder. That's the difference between me and everybody else. I don't mind. Give me one good time.
That's it. So it's like you can literally put out a record now, right? And it bubble, and you get picked up by a label. Between the internet and the label, there's no discipleship, there's no nothing, no conviction, there's nothing. So it's literally going from there. Back in the days with Def Jam, and it was like, yo, you get a manager, then you get signed with an A&R. Now somebody's developing you, how you act in public, what you're supposed to do.
They're literally investing
into you and building an artist. So then when they get there, it's like that. So now it's just like, it's a microwave industry.
But there are pros and cons to both sides of the story, right? Because also those same record labels were taking all your money and leaving you dead ass broke.
This is true.
And today you can actually keep all your money, build your whole fan base on whatever your social media platform is, and walk away with a gag full of cash, with a bag.
Yeah.
And if you're smart financially, might go a long way.
Yeah, but that's another thing. I think what the issue is now flipping the coin. Yeah, you can get the bag, but what are you doing with the bag? Yeah, like what are you doing with that? Are you going to spend? What are you spending it on? Because that's how artists end up broke. Okay, I hit it pop, I hit $1 million, then I go buy a car. First thing, you know, what about investment?
I got to get my diamonds.
You know, I got to get, right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I got to get my Yeezys.
But get the priorities straight first. Yeah. What's your priority? What do you live, legacy? I think a lot of people aren't really thinking about the future, they're thinking about the now. And I think that's kind of the issue, is like, we're living in the now.
Right, hasn't that always been a 20-year-old's plight though, to live in the now? When you were in your 20s, weren't you living for the now?
Yes and no. Yes, I'm the.
You got me thinking.
Right. I'm trying to think, but I'm being honest. Like, I think I did live in the now, but I still had a plan and a vision. Like, I was like, okay, I want to be this at this time. I want to have this at this time. I want to be able to do this at this time. So I think for me, yeah, I did live in the now, but I also had a vision of what my future could look like. Stuff like this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So. What's interesting to me is that we've not gotten to a point to where we can see who falls off of the tree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So right now, those who popped through the social media craze, they are still popping right now.
Yeah.
So we've not reached a point to see who came and went.
Yeah.
Because everybody's still here right now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, I think, to see who sticks around for the long haul in the next 10 to 20 years. You think Cardi B will?
I think Cardi B will. I think because Cardi's very smart. Mm-hmm. In the process of her bubbling, right, I feel like now she's in a place where she can have people and influence to make proper decisions. Mm-hmm. But you think about like back in the day, like we had, in my generation, we had like Slim Thug, and we had Paul Wall, and we had.
You talking about all my Houston people
Mike
now.
Mike Jones, right?
Like you taking me to Houston.
Come on. So look, so those guys are still around, but they had their moment, came and gone. But if you think about a Kanye West, a Common, Talib Kweli, Mos Def, these were people that were developed. They're saying something. And again, no shade to those guys, because look, I used to live down south. I was tipping on fofos, riding. You know what I'm saying? I had 22s, but I think what the root of it is, and I feel like the message will always outlast the flashiness. Like the vision will always outlast something. You know, I think about the time they did the Kanye West and the 50 Cent beef with this album sales.
Yeah.
In my heart, I was like, Kanye would win, because 50 Cent is a great artist, but lyrically, compared to a Kanye West, it was like hands down. It was like, yo, okay, Kanye's gonna win, and sure enough, Kanye did oversell. So I just think about, again, coming from a generation of just saying something. What is the mission? What is the why? Mm-hmm. Why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? I think that will, again, overcome.
You talking real deep for a hip hop artist.